and welcome to another episode of Cat Calls. I am your host, Cat Bine, and this is my show that I do most Thursdays here on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KATBEIN. And why am I spelling it? Well, I'm not spelling it for I Dang Got a Twitch and I'm Zebula and Nightshade and Vaporized and the Edible Pencil, because those people are all here live watching me do this interview in real time. But you might not be watching it in real time. You might be watching it later on YouTube, where I post all my episodes of Cat Calls. And if that's the case, I want you to know that OKIC and I are inviting you to come on the program live. That's right. Why are you waiting? I didn't spell it for Vaporized. I spelled it for the people of the future. Anywho, I'm also not here to just ramble about the Spice Time Continuum with you. I want everyone to give a really big shout of applause to today's guest. Everybody give it up to Tennyson! I hope that you guys can hear the applause, because I have applause going as an effect. And if you can't, well, it's okay. It's time to bring it on down. Yeah, because we got to get this show started, okay? We are joined today by Luke and Tess, okay? They are a brother-sister duo. They have been at this for nearly a decade, which is kind of crazy. They emerged from Edmonton, Canada as a prodigious artists to watch. And they've released on Ausla and most recently Counter Records. And what started as a cutesy sound full of tween-age playfulness and innocence quickly evolved into something so much more grand, but it really comes together in its full power on Rot. Rot is the debut album. Luke wrote it under what we can pretty safely call extreme levels of discomfort and duress. There was a whole lot of mold involved. I believe there was like some tinnitus that ended up almost ruining the day, but you know what's crazy? It didn't ruin the day. It inspired an incredibly beautiful, thoughtful, grown-up album, and I'm so excited to have both Luke and Tess on the show to talk to us about it and about the live show that's coming out. They're going to hit the road in March, from what I understand. To get things started, we're going to watch the music video for Feelwitchu. Of course, they don't have a whole lot of music videos, but Feelwitchu is chef's kiss. It's a great song. It's a crazy video. Let's all get in the mood. And when we come back, we will have Luke and Tess on the line. So get your questions ready. This is your show as much as it's my show. I want to ask your questions too, and I brought some of my own. So here we go. Feelwitchu, and then the interview starts.
Don't think about it too much.
It looks great. You guys are both in screen. Hello, Tennyson.
Hello.
Thank you guys, both of you, for joining me today. I know everybody's very excited. The Emerald's very excited. Nightshade's very excited. Hikari XXXXX. I've been trying to guess how to say everybody's name. It's tough on the first read. It's like, was it sight reading? Except it's not music. It's just like people's weird internet things. Anyway, hi. How are you two today?
Good. Yeah, not bad.
Not too bad, not too bad. We were just watching the Feelwitchu video, as you saw. I know you guys hopped in the chat there for a second. That features a very impressive performance by you, Luke. I want to know what you did to get into character for all of that mess.
Well, for one, we met a couple days beforehand to try and rehearse some of it. I think that helped. The first shot where I fall out of the car, and my friend Warren, or our tour manager Warren, is driving the car. I think we did that like 15 or 16 times because we couldn't get the Bluetooth.
Oh, lucky you.
To work. So like, yeah, I kept messing up the first line and like had to restart. And like they had to wash the blood off my hand and then like blood me up again. And then like, yeah, I had to keep falling on my shoulders. So it was good though. I didn't mind. I like kind of like suffering for a cause. That's makes me feel like I'm alive.
Totally, I get that. As a total masochist, I completely understand. It's not art unless you just like feel like absolute dog shit afterwards, right? Or maybe you have to feel like absolute dog shit to make art, you know? Like, that's the question. What came first? The existential crisis or the... I guess you might know that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, if you're like completely satisfied with everything and you're trying to write a song, I'm sure it doesn't sound very good.
But the answer to that question was not, you just had your sister beat you up. That wasn't like how that all happened.
No, I think, yeah, it was weird. Character-wise, I did make like a decision, like I need to get into character. But also just being like dressed up in like army pants and leather and shit. Like, that made me
Yeah,
feel
that
like,
styling was great.
oh,
That
badass,
chain
like-
necklace, that was tight. Nice
Yeah.
touch. I know that you both are like, have been these prodigious musicians your whole life, yada, yada, yada. Your parents put you in music classes pretty early on. Were you ever theater kids too? Is that something that you guys play around with or were ever doing?
Well, we were we were both in dance for a really long time. Luke was a tap dancer
Hey!
and pretty good too at it. And I was in ballet for like close to 10 years of my life.
Wow, that's a long
Um,
time.
Yeah, I think I was in ballet from like 4 to 14. And we also went to like art, like a public arts. It was like a semi-public like arts high school.
Interesting. Cool, cool, cool.
And so we did like,
It was drama class.
yeah, I did drama.
Yeah, no, we didn't like participate in any of the school plays or anything. At least I didn't.
I didn't either, but I did do a tap duet at a dance. It was like a dance production.
We played a show on stage at school,
Yeah,
at a school assembly.
I think a couple times
We
actually.
played Haunt You Every Day, or Haunt You by Weezer.
And
my
it's
God,
probably
so
Coldplay
fun.
too.
I think it was just
We were
one
really
song.
little. Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We like the school we went to had this like massive, like really nice auditorium. It was all brick and all this. It was like soft cedar, like really nice auditorium.
Damn.
Because it was like all about musical theater and stuff. So we I think both of us did a few shows on that stage.
That's so fun. So have you guys ever, like, do you experience stage fright or have you just been performing in some way, shape, or form your whole life?
I definitely get like excited or like butterflies. Unless there's nobody out there. And I'm like, all right, we can get through this.
Yeah, that's not its own sort of butterfly. You're like, oh God, I'm really going to know each one of these people's faces. And like, I can tell whether they like it or not.
Yeah, we did a
That has
couple shows in
happened.
China where there was like 2 people that had no idea who we were, just like standing there.
I was curious, what's a harder crowd to win over? Like, just people passing by on the street? I know you have some busker experience. Or like opening for another act and the people in the crowd don't know who you are?
I was just telling this story, but we played a Red Bull show a really long time ago. And
Was it in Miami? Because I might have met you guys there.
It wasn't. We did a few Red Bull shows.
Okay.
That one was great.
That makes sense.
I think
yeah.
that was with like Cashmere Cat or something,
yes,
right?
So good. Yes.
But we did one in Toronto where they emailed us and they said, we can get any other act on this bill that you want. Just pick someone and we'll try and get them. And we just forgot to pick anyone.
Oh no.
So they went ahead and picked Lil Yachty
Oh wow. Okay.
and put him on the bill after us.
Oh boy.
So suddenly it went from like our Red Bull show to like we
This
went out
Lil
and we sat
Yachty.
down and I was looking at like 100 Lil Yachty fans who were just like on their phones the whole time.
Oh,
And
no.
I was like, oh my God, like they are just waiting for us to get off.
That's so awful.
Yeah, that was pretty awkward.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
they also like dominated the green room.
Oh yeah, they ate like well he I think he brought like
Air it out.
his
Air it out
whole
now.
entourage.
Oh
And
yeah.
they just ripped through like and just ate all the snacks.
They ate
and
all our
stuff.
gummy bears.
Yeah.
Rude. Leave
Our
some
bars.
gummy bears.
I don't know. I get stage fright really bad if there's friends in the audience.
Yes.
I think if I'm in a city where I
effect.
don't know anyone,
Yeah.
I can like relax a little bit. But like Los Angeles is a really scary one because I know like I might have like 15 people on the guest list from Los Angeles, and every single person I'm like really nervous to play in front of. So that's like when I get like bad stage fright.
It's interesting. I feel more comfortable probably if there's people I know.
Really.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm meeting someone for the first time. There's a
Oh, true. Like this is your audition for.
yeah. There's a chef. I really love Top Chef. Top Chef's like one of my favorite shows.
Yes.
It's so good. And
It is.
you know, season 15, there's a chef who placed third named Joe Sasto, and I was a huge fan of him, and I bought tickets to go to one of his like food events, and I was like talking to the waiter, and he was like, "Are you excited?" And I was like, "No, you don't understand. I'm his biggest fan." And they brought me back to talk to him, so I got to meet him, and my mom was there, and my mom was doing the whole like, my daughter's a musician.
Oh yeah, parents do that thing for sure.
And he basically told him about the show, and he agreed to go.
Oh my
God. I like put him on guest list, and I had like never been so nervous in my life. Like I'm like texting him, and he like rolled up with like his girlfriend and his brother, and he brought us like cookies. And was like hanging out in the green room.
This is amazing. So I love this story, by the way. I love Top Chef as well.
Nervous. It's such a good show.
But the thing is, you have to remember, like, Chef Joe is a top chef. He's not a top drummer. Like, he doesn't know what the fuck you guys are doing up there. He's gonna be impressed. You just have to have that, like, we know what we're doing face on. And
that's like an interesting thing is sometimes I'll like bomb. I feel like I bombed a show, and then I have to go talk to my friends after, and I feel really embarrassed. And the first thing out of their mouths is like, "You killed it, like that was so good." And I'm like, do you even know what you're looking at? Sometimes I'm like, did you really not realize I messed up?
Yeah. People
like, I can't believe that.
If you don't make a face like, oh, fuck, like, they might not know, but.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing you have to not do. You just, like, be playing absolute nonsense, and you're just like.
There's like a show business term for that or something. Isn't there?
It's faking it till you're making it,
fake
baby.
it till you make it.
I don't know.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what I was thinking of.
I like to say Drake it till you make it, because I know, like, in his early songs, he's like talking about how much money he has, and now he's super rich. So if you ever want to manifest things, yeah, exactly. Speaking of superpowers, manifesting, I have one quick question for you, Tess. How does it feel to guess the Wordle word on your first try twice?
Okay, so I don't want anyone to be confused, because that's the thing I posted, the 101, is actually not the Wordle. It's the Worldle.
Wow, you got the Worlder. I hate that word, by the way.
I know, it's really bad. The world. They should have called it the Global.
Oh yeah, right? That makes sense. But then you're not.
Yeah,
like the
Global. GLOBLE.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. Whatever.
Anyway, I have like when that came out, I'm like huge geography nerd. So when it came out, I got really excited because and I actually yesterday I did 3 for 3.
Ridiculous.
So I'm 3 for 3 on one tries.
You just live with this person, Luke. You're just like you're just watching it happen. Like, oh my god, she did it again, folks. No.
She does like the capital thing, country's capital.
It's like the worst. Obviously, like almost just to have a party trick. Learned every capital of every country.
Is that fun when you're in LA and you're with all the like goofy, weird music industry people?
It's actually really fun when people are drunk. Like everyone's hanging out and drinking, and like you tell them and they don't believe you. And so I'll just say, "Oh, name a country," and then they will, and I'll say the capital. And then I'll go, "Siri, what's the capital of such and such?" And then Siri will like say what I just said, and everyone goes like,
That is incredible. Luke, are you playing Wordle? Are you playing Worldle? Are you?
Yeah, just Wordle, and maybe the 4-1. I did that
Quordle.
Quordle. I like that one.
I just tried the Octordle. That's 8.
Oh.
That's 8.
Now you're just making things up.
Tries.
I feel like you just inadvertently solve at least 4 or 5 of them.
Well, it was crap though, because one of the words I got it just by elimination on my last try.
You got all of them?
I got all of them. Okay. But one of the last word was humph. HUMPH.
Humph. And that's how you felt when you got it. You were like, humph.
It's like, that's not a word.
Yeah, one of my roommates somehow got the word himbo, and then she had to explain to me what a himbo is. Do you guys know what that is?
Just talking about himbos and bimbos.
Yeah, for anyone out there in the chat who might not know, it's pretty classy stuff. A himbo is a male bimbo, so there you go.
Wow.
Case in point,
someone who's very attractive but maybe not so bright.
Yeah. Like, someone, I think, was trying to say the dude from Scooby-Doo as an example, but honestly, all the kids
Shaggy?
in Scooby-Doo... No. The other one with the ascot.
Fred?
But he's smart, isn't he? Like, they're all, they're, like, solving
Fred, I think Fred's
mysteries.
smart.
Yeah.
No, a himbo is like... I was trying to think of a good character that's a himbo.
Someone also said Hercules from the Hercules Disney
Yeah.
version.
Or Johnny Bravo. That's a good one. That's like...
Classic himbo. Oh my god, you guys! I didn't have my computer plugged in. I saved it. Woo! Stream almost died. Anywho,
I had a fright there that you weren't recording or something. Like,
Oh
the
yeah,
screen was just
no,
empty.
we're good. I mean, God forbid I miss all of the important Wordle, Quordle, Squirtle magic. I know.
I actually did a phone interview once. It was like an hour, and me, Tess, and Warren were like just eating some food before a show.
It was like really nice food though.
And it just came, and like as soon as the plate went down, I got a phone call, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about this interview." And then it was like an hour long, and I was outside looking at my food, like getting colder and colder.
No.
And then like at the end, he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry about this, but I don't think I was recording that whole time."
This is my living nightmare. You're describing.
And he's like, "Mind if we just restart?"
No.
And I literally had to answer all the questions for a second time.
Fuck
And
that.
yeah, my food was like ice cold at the end of that.
I don't think I've ever seen you like... almost never seen you more upset in your life.
I think I was like answering calmly, but it was like...
we were watching. It was funny. The restaurant had like a patio and then glass doors, and so we were watching Luke the whole time. Like he was like turning in the glass and going like shaking his head.
That is my literal fucking nightmare as a journalist. Like, I'm constantly like, should I have 2 or 3 different recording devices going on? Because, like, what if I have this wonderful conversation with someone or a mid-conversation with someone and then I have to do it all over again? Like, that's on me. That's on that
That's
dude.
happened to us more than once. For sure.
Oh, Jesus. Everyone, we have witnesses. Like, this is happening. This is,
Yeah.
we are having an interview.
No, I think I just had like a PTSD, like heart palpitation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thankfully, and my computer is totally charging, so we are good, fam. We are good to go. I did see, somebody did say in the chat a little earlier, if you feel comfortable sharing this information, Luke, what size shoes do you wear? Someone wants to surprise you with tap shoes at a concert on tour.
To be honest, I've actually been considering, like, should I get tap shoes that would actually fit? Because all the tap shoes I have are, like, this big.
Yeah, you should stop tapping in those.
Yeah, I'm 10 and a half. But I feel like these tap shoe sizes are different.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 and a half US.
I feel like it kind of makes sense. Tap is so rhythm-based, and I could see how maybe that's soaked into your soul a little bit. Like, the music that you make is so rhythm-heavy, to Tess's delight or despair. But it's cool. Do you ever try to, like, are you tapping out rhythms in your daily life? Do you keep at it?
I do it all the time.
I, like, occasionally cramp roll, which is like...
Ooh!
Yeah, and then there's a toe roll, like toe. Which part is the ball of your foot? This, right?
Behind the toes.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
like toe ball.
Yeah.
And I can
Toe-toe
still
ball.
whip those out.
ball instead of ball heel.
Yeah, you
heel.
do two like tip of the toe taps in the air.
Luke was like a legit tap
No, it wasn't
dancer.
legit though.
Well, kind of.
No, I was all right. I was like, I always wanted to like do the like advanced tricks, and probably just spent half the tap class while everyone's like trying to focus, me just like going crazy trying to do wings and stuff.
Yes. I took tap briefly as a child as well, and what I remember most about it was that whenever the teacher would leave the room, we'd all just start doing this thing as much as we could. Do you know what I mean? You can't see my legs, maybe you saw my legs.
Or like singing in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
The one I did in the tap performance I did in high school, there's a video of it, and I choreographed it.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's super embarrassing.
Put it on the internet. No, let's go. You guys need to get your dancing moves back. Do you guys ever think about starting illustrious dancer TikTok careers? I mean, this is the time to be a dancer.
I did it a little bit.
You did? Was that a quarantine project?
At the start code, I made like 4 TikTok dances. And they're out there. They're on TikTok. I didn't take them down, but like when I look back on it now, I'm like, that's like a little. I don't know, just a little cringe. Not so bad, but
I do feel for, I don't know if this would be y'all's generation. I'm a little older, right? But like when I was a kid, I had this little recorder, microphone, tape player thing, and I would like make fake radio station stuff, or I'd be like, ooh, yeah, the next song up. And then it just stayed on a cassette tape with me, but kids are doing that and just like immediately putting things on YouTube, or like, I guess in y'all's instance, that's kind of how your career got started, but it feels like a wonderful plethora of cringe for later in life. Like, oh yeah, all that stuff's gonna be out there for you.
We have a lot of
I have a lot of like Casio camera, like the little digital camera recordings. Like, I'm gonna show you how to make McDonald's secret sauce.
Oh my god, yes!
Probably I should just try and find those and put them on TikTok.
I like the one where it was like, remember I was like, this is an American dollar bill. Do you remember that? We used to make like the dumbest little sketches.
I guess for y'all living in Canada, that would be very exciting, an American dollar bill. For us, it's very exciting to know that loonies and toonies are real currencies.
Yeah.
Oh, I was with a friend once in Canada, and he was American, and I was like, we got to get some loonies and toonies for the bus. Or I think I went up to a cashier, like a cash register, and I had like a $10 bill, and I was like, can I just get some loonies and toonies for the bus?
What world is this?
He was like, what are you talking about? This place isn't real. Like, well, can I get some loonies and toonies for the bus?
It's like, okay, you don't have to make fun of me just because I'm not from around here and ask the nice thing.
It was so funny.
I think it's technically a $2 coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's no.
It's loony and $2 coin.
No, officially it's toonie, and I'm not kidding. I'm not joking.
That's sick.
Yeah.
This is so weird. The mod bots just asked me if I was okay with Loonies and Toonies sounds like a kid's show as a comment. So I'm not really sure what was lewd in there, but
maybe loonies.
We all learned something today.
It's called a loony because there's a loon on the coin.
The animal, the
bird.
bird. Yes.
Which I think might be like the national bird of Canada.
I'm trying to think of a funny response to that, but I just lost it. Looties and tooties. That's right, Joey Headset. That is it. What is the secret to the McDonald's sauce? While we know you've got it.
I think it's just every condiment mixed together.
Amazing. I did hear, I think it's like also, what's that? Thousand Island dressing.
Oh, that's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go. It's just all of them together.
What's interesting is katsu sauce in Japan is ketchup and Worcestershire sauce.
Wow, I didn't know that, but I like those things. I like Japanese food. Sounds good. Top Chef, everybody. These people really know what they're talking about. Okay, I want to hear a little bit about your cool art kid high school. Makes sense. I was curious if like being a touring musician actually helped you get any sort of cool cachet in school, but it sounds like, oh, you're saying no? Not even going to the cool art kid school? Or were there even cooler art kids? Like, so what was going on?
No, it was really cool, but it wasn't... Okay, well, Luke was graduated by the time we started touring. And I was in 11th grade. And I got to go, I went out to all my teachers and I went, excuse me, I'm going to be missing a month of school because I'm going on tour. And all my teachers were like, what the hell are you talking about? And I guess I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe people did think it was cool, but I think I was gone so much of the time that just no one like got to know me at all. Like, yeah. I think I was a little bit of like, no one knew who I was. Like, they knew who I was, but they didn't know me. And, like, I think, like, my last year of high school, I had, like, a few friends, but I didn't really hang out with... I definitely was not popular. Like, I would just miss a lot of school and then come back and, like, cram for a test. And then I would, like, leave again.
That sounds real.
Actually, I think I barely graduated. Because I missed, a lot of class.
I remember grade 12, like, my SoundCloud started blowing out, but I didn't tell anyone. There wasn't really a lot of people to tell, but it made like going to school more enjoyable. Like I had this kind of double thing going on. Like, And in grade 12, I had like just no classes, like real classes left because I'd done them on the previous years. So I had like animation, gym 10. We were like the grade 10 gym that I didn't take, but it was like a
oh, I see. Not gym 10, like you
graduation.
maxed up to level 10 and you were just like a fierce butch motherfucker.
No, just me and a bunch of like younger kids playing dodgeball. Yeah, the gym teacher didn't care at all. So he was like, you know what, guys? It's dodgeball day.
That was my gym 10 too.
Every day. So like, yeah, it was just like dodgeball and animation.
Yo,
and
it's because he knows you're about to enter the adult world, and it's like, it's all about duking and dodging. Like, you just get ready. Fuck that email. Nope, sorry. I'm not doing, not you toxic people. I'm out.
Remember we did that one show? You were in 12th grade and I was in 10th grade. It was like the first Tennyson show. And we had the flyer. That little flyer.
Oh, yeah.
And we printed like 1,000 of them. And we would take stacks to school and hand them out to people and like put them in lockers and stuff. And we started seeing them like all over the floor.
Oh.
They were everywhere, yeah.
Did people come to your show? Was the first Tennyson show a success?
No. It was freezing cold because the guy that owned the venue was a charlatan and like just ghosted us right afterwards.
What?
Like, I promise there's gonna be heat when everyone's here. I just turned it off to save money. It was freezing cold. It was December.
Oh my god!
Everyone was wearing coats. Yeah, I think like 10 people from school showed up, and then this other like local DJ, who did like trippy like Shambhala type stuff, like brought his entourage of like real like Canadian hippies. Like everyone showed up in like squirrel outfits and like
fuck yeah.
It was sick though, and they were there for our show, so we had like 100 people at our
it wasn't
show.
a real venue either. It was like a art gallery, wasn't it?
It was a nothing thing. It was called Isby Domain.
Wow.
And the guy like disappeared off the planet Earth, like,
and he never to be heard from again. Like that was it.
we got a video from like we had someone film it, and then I think you like edited in a bunch of like crowd noises. And
I made it look lit, yeah.
Yeah, we made it look like a lit show.
That's so
and then we like
fun.
sent it out as like promo.
I had one friend just record the show with one camera and just walk around.
Yeah.
And then to edit it, I had to edit the songs down to like 20 seconds to get multiple angles.
Yeah.
And so it just made it look like a multi-camera.
Nice.
So, the lights in person look really, really bad, but on the camera it looks really pretty sweet.
I mean, how often is that true though? That's like literally every music festival after a movie. It's like, it kind of kills me because I'm like, yeah, I get it. You want to sell tickets and like make your festival look really cool, but like no music festival experience is like beautiful people, slow motion dancing. It's like waiting in line for the porta potty for like an hour and like feeling somebody's
really
sweaty
gross,
body.
sweaty.
Yeah, mud everywhere. And like washing your hands with water bottles. And, like,
Yeah, exactly. Even for
like-
you as artists now.
You ever like put soap all over your hands at the hand washing station and then press the pedal and nothing comes out?
It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Bro.
You're just like, I'll just take this weird, sad, wet paper towel and just kill myself. I don't know.
Just walk around with soap on your hands.
Okay, I know. I thank you both so much. This conversation has been so easy and silly, but we should talk about music a little bit, maybe. It's been such a joy to have gotten to, you know, I did meet you and interview you, whether you remember or not, at that Red Bull Miami show, and I was fascinated with you two instantly, and your show was fantastic, and I think that, you know, you just came off as these very prodigious, skilled, talented young people, and I know that that's just what it looks like from the outside, right? Like, I'm sure on the inside you're like, I don't know. But you've evolved so much even from that time. The sound of Tennyson has evolved. You know, it used to be very kind of cutesy and like almost cartoony sometimes, almost a little Looney Toony in a way. But with with Rot, it's the official debut album of the Tennyson project, and it sounds like this next iteration of everything Tennyson has been about. But do you look at this moment as a bit of a rebirth for the project? Does it feel like I don't know if I'm wording this right. Maybe I said too many words already, but like, if you're so young and your project is touring, do you have a lot of time to think about like what you're even doing? And is this a moment to refigure what that is?
Yeah. I think like for the longest time, I would just make whatever came out. And then once I had 6 songs, I'd put out an EP. And so like it had no direction just because like I'm not going to throw out songs that I make because I spent like 150 hours on that.
I love to hear that. Some people make songs and never do anything with them. So congratulations to you for getting past that first hump.
Yeah. But lately I just started making music a lot faster. Probably like 40 or 50 times faster or something like just absurd. So I can at least like sort the songs into different piles. So that the album just has like a vibe to it. It doesn't sound like a bunch of stuff that I made over the last 2 years or whatever. Yeah, I just want to keep that going. I just want to make like solid sounding, like cohesive projects. But
Yeah.
I still feel like there's like way too many different styles of music that I want to make. And so yeah, probably a side project or two are probably a good idea instead of just making like mishmash albums moving forward.
I mean, I think it could go either way, really, right? Like, we're living in an interesting age where people put out so many different types of styles in their own name. Like, I think it used to be more common for people to have like 2 or 3 side projects and they all did different styles of music. But there's at least a little bit of a freedom to releasing whatever you want. But I'm not telling you how to be or how to live or anything. I'm just saying, I think you do explore quite a few different styles and sounds on Rot itself. I was listening to it again a few times today, and even that last song has this almost like alt rock from the like Britpop era vibe to it for me a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, I think it sounds like Radiohead, but then someone was like, this is what Coldplay used to sound like when they were good or something. And I was like, wait, it actually does sound a lot like Coldplay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a specific song, but like, especially the like B-side EPs that they were doing.
That melody is super Chris Martin, like the verse melody.
Wait, oh.
Ooh.
I can actually hear Chris Martin like singing that in my head.
Yeah, it's probably more of a Coldplay song than a Radiohead song.
I dig it. You guys are big Coldplay fans.
We were at one point. We went to their Viva La Vida tour. That was my first ever concert. I was 12. And you were 14, I guess. And it was amazing.
I fucking bet. Nightshade is saying they get James Blake vibes off of Rot.
Yeah, definitely. James Blake, Caribou.
Billie Eilish a little bit.
A little bit. Actually, yeah, Get Gone, I think I made it because I heard Billie Eilish while I was running.
Interesting. Get Gone is one of my faves off the... You know what's interesting about that song? Unless I'm misremembering, it's got a chorus. It's got like that really catchy, the Get Gone part, but that doesn't even happen until like the second half of the song, right? It's not like...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
the song structure is probably super glitched.
I think it's really fun and cool though, like, but it's kind of cute how it does that. Anyway,
yeah, I like the like Halloween style music.
A spooky
I just
vibe.
wanted to do it once. That's probably the only time I'll do it.
Oh, this the spooky? What was? Yeah, talk to me about the crazy intermission, or not intermission, but interlude.
Oh, that I made usually when I'm frustrated and I want to give up. I'll usually just be like, just make like one more thing. Like, just even if it's terrible, just like create something so you're not doing nothing or you're not like playing online chess or something.
Is that what you revert to? I play a lot of online solitaire, which is maybe even sadder.
Yeah, so I just made that as like not a joke, but just like a frustrated, junky sound. Like, and then I probably heard it like a week or two later. And I was like, oh, that's sick. It's honestly 2 sounds that I found on Freesound. just put together.
Nice. Shout out Free Sound. Everybody go run it up. Okay, wait. Suicidal Cat asked this question, and I have to ask, where did the Tomato Land song come from? I saw you guys do that when I first saw you guys.
You were at the show where we had the cushions made that looked like tomatoes and we threw them into the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's it. I love Tennyson.
We still have one of those.
I think it's covered in cat hair in the laundry basket or something.
It's somewhere.
I think I have a voice memo of me like peeing and singing it or something. Either peeing or pooping, one of the two. But like, yeah, I think that's probably when it was conceived.
Your best ideas really do come on the porcelain throne. That's where it's all done.
I definitely didn't intend to upload it to SoundCloud because I was like kind of serious at that point, like making music. But at one point I was like, just gonna put it out.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
And now here it is. We all love it. Poopy Sin, Trev Gibb says.
Well, it used to be the encore song.
Yeah.
And we stopped doing that.
We could still do it.
We technically could.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bass player and a guitarist, so we wouldn't need to like do much. We could just play it. We wouldn't need like backing
the track
or anything.
I'm very excited to talk about the live show, but I want to talk a little bit more. Luke, I know that with this album, it all kind of started when your basement or your room at your parents' house became so disgustingly rotted with mold that you were doing jumping jacks and the floor itself was moving. True?
Yeah, it was like it all happened in one night. So it's kind of like one of those like weird like days that has like a stake through it or something.
Yeah.
I knew about the mold beforehand. Actually, I think there'd been mold in my bedroom for years. I used to have like drawers under the bed, and I always thought like the glue was leaching out of them.
Ooh.
But I think it was mold the whole time.
It was.
Yeah, it wasn't really bad until one spring. Everything melted, and all the water rushed into the. Like, luckily there was a gap between the like foundation and the floorboards. But yeah, I was doing jumping jacks. I got ready for a run. I was getting like super stoked. It was like kind of dark already. And yeah, it was like, I was like, okay, shit, this sucks.
That's
and then
really horrifying.
I went on a run anyway.
Nice.
And it was a very creepy run because the whole city was basically like half flooded.
Oh, wow.
So it was like water everywhere and like drain pipes like flowing. It was just a weird run. Wait, I think my ears were ringing already at that point.
Yeah, because didn't you end up getting like really crazy tinnitus too?
Yeah, it was probably from, I don't know what it was from, but it might have been from antibiotics that I took that somebody prescribed because I had a cough for so long.
Because you were living in mold. Were you living in the same house, Tess? Were you here for this?
No, I was living in Philly at the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were, but your room was fine. Because all the water, like the foundation was like slanted towards my...
But I only experienced one consequence, which was that my parents ripped up the floors. My dad ripped up the floors and got all the mold out and redid the floors. And both rooms were renovated. My room's just over there. And they put all my clothes that were here still in Edmonton into bags. And it was getting colder. And I FaceTimed my mom. I said, hey, I like need some of my colder clothes for the winter. If you could like just ship a box. And I was like on the phone with her. And I heard my mom go, Greg, where are Tess's clothes? Like freaking out. And yeah, I guess they're gone.
Oh, fuck. They're just gone.
Yeah, my dad like either thought it was garbage or took it to Goodwill and donated it all.
No, it was thrown out.
Okay,
it was in an unmarked black garbage bag.
Yeah. So
no.
I had a real moment of
that's
sort
pain.
Of, and it was a lot of like sentimental stuff, like sort of like ex-boyfriend sweaters and like things that I got from shows and merch from friends and all this stuff. And I remember I wrote down everything I could remember that I lost, and then I just kind of let it all go.
Totally. I know. It's like when, Buddhist monks make those beautiful mandalas or mandala, whatever, mandalas. I'm saying that so wrong. But they, out of the sand, right? And they're beautiful, and they spend like months making them, or like weeks. And then when they're done, they just wipe it all away. And it's like one of life's beautiful lessons in just how nothing lasts. And you just got to let it go. But we're glad that... Sorry, no.
Not the worst experience to have.
Yeah, sad, but still hurts. But I lose shit all the time. I see old photos of myself, and I'm like, whatever happened to that top? Like, I have no fucking concept. It's just gone. Like, I forgot it existed. Luke, I want to hear some more, though. I want you to share with people. You took that antibiotics, and you got all this crazy tinnitus, and you kind of were forced to get out of your house, and that's when you first started writing these tracks, right? They were like fever dream tracks.
Yeah, I just found some random Airbnb. Actually, I think she was also a tenant, so I just paid her directly to save some money, which was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just a weird like month in another basement, and also the carpet when I got in there was wet because it had been like flooding in there as well. And she was like, don't worry, it's from like the carpet cleaning, it'll dry out. And like it never did. So I was like, I was so paranoid at that point that I was sleeping in like the living room on the couch instead of the bedroom there because it was wet. Yeah, it wasn't so bad, but I was definitely stressed out. Like I had a big rash across my chest. And I was like, oh, this is actually like deep stress that I'd like never experienced. So
that's so awful.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 songs came out of that though, which is nice.
Yeah. Do you remember which ones?
Yeah, Torn, Iron.
Oh, I love that one. Good ones.
Maybe some others.
Yeah.
I can't think of them.
It's amazing that you found the energy to make music. Was that just like what you had to do to deal with whatever was going on, or did you make yourself do it?
Yeah, I brought all my stuff over. I found I couldn't wear headphones, which just kind of freaked me out. But so I was like had little speakers. Yeah, there wasn't really much to do. I was like...
Was it quarantine too? Was this all during quarantine as well, or was it before?
Yeah, I was still going. I would like walk and get groceries and stuff. But definitely there was... I don't know if there was lockdowns yet.
Because what a thing to go from like, oh, my head is exploding, to like, oh, the world is exploding. Like now we're all still stuck inside.
Definitely the main takeaway was like, anything that you think you have can just be taken away from you, like any moment randomly. Like you don't, that was like, I think that feeling was like very strong at first, but probably as like time goes on, it just goes back to like neutral entitlement.
That is the truth. I feel that.
It's nice to at least like know that I felt that way.
Yeah, no, seriously. I not to put like people's business out on the air or whatever, but my boyfriend had this crazy medical thing happen to him a couple of years ago, and we were actually at Coachella, and like all of a sudden he had this terrible headache, and the people at Med Tent were like, "Oh, you have sun exposure," so it's like, "Okay, you'll just like go home today or back to the hotel today, and you'll be fine tomorrow." And it turned into this headache that lasted for like 2 months, and he could not sit up. He was like stuck laying on the couch, or if he stood up, his head would hurt. And basically his whole life just like stopped for 2 months. And we were like, what's ever going to happen to you? Like, are you ever going to be normal again? And it was this like random rupture in his spinal fluid sac in his spine or something. And so his spine was like leaking spinal fluid, and his brain was like resting on his skull because there wasn't enough fluid. But once they figured out what it was, they were able to fix it, and he's going to kill me when he knows I'm telling this whole story. But when it was over, he's like, oh my gosh, like, I know what's really important in life. Like, I need to do this. I need to change that about my life, blah, blah, blah. And then like 6 months later, you're like, oh, I'm just doing this job I hate and like whatever. Like, I guess we're just living, because it's hard to keep that feeling bottled. But
Yeah, totally.
anyway, sorry to my boyfriend for sharing his personal medical history. But it's a crazy story. I know, it is a crazy story. And like losing your clothes is maybe less scary than maybe not being able to wear headphones, but it's pretty fucking sad, and your clothes are gone too. So you both experienced the fucking life can just be shattered. All right. Well, I saw that you kind of like finished this album on Twitch. Did you find the process of creating and finishing a song with an audience of some kind affected the way that you made the songs at all?
Yeah, I was like just grinding as hard as I could. Maybe not. It was still like tolerable, but trying to just do like 8 hours alone probably was not possible. So yeah, the streams just kind of helped me stick to working. Yeah, it was good. I look back fondly, like I want to start streaming again when I start working on the next stuff. So
oh, cool. A new added bit of process. I bet some of these people in the chat were there for your Twitch stream, I would guess. Tess,
yeah.
Did you get on Twitch as well? I saw this clip of you on IG playing some game. I think it was called Celeste, and you were wildly good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there. I was doing Twitch I started last January, and I did it until around May. And yeah, I was playing video games. And I specifically was playing really hard video games. I kind of realized like I'm good at hard video games, and I like all of a sudden really wanted to show off.
Yes, fuck yeah! I was like
and
so
I just
intrigued.
Always wanted to try it, and so I just tried it out, and I had a lot of fun. And I see a lot of people in the chat who were like my mod and like some very loyal viewers.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because like I get messages still that are like, when are the streams coming back? And I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I also didn't. Like, I found it a little bit like bad for my mental health to like get up and like shower and then sit down and play video games for like sometimes 8 hours.
Yeah.
At a time, and I would always stop, and I'd have like the worst migraine. And
yeah,
like,
staring at that screen is
I didn't like break to eat. I don't know. It wasn't super. It got to a point where I just, and sometimes too, you have bad days and not that many people watch, and you start to take it really personally because there's nothing really else to base it on.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to be like, oh, well, it's just a Tuesday, but your brain is like, you're not interesting. You're like not being funny enough, et cetera, et cetera. I would like drink Red Bulls in the morning, which I never did before, just so that I could like keep the energy up the whole time.
Oh no, this is how it happens. The game.
Yeah, I just found that eventually it was like healthier for me to not do it.
Totally reasonable, and glad that you at least recognize that. Like, I mean, were you doing it for 8 hours at a time because you just got sucked into it, or because did you feel this compulsion to like make it an official thing? Like, were you like, I gotta make sure I clock my hours?
I didn't have like a grind mindset. Obviously you want it to go well. Like, you don't want to do it to no one. So it was going well, and I was really happy about that. But I definitely wasn't like doing it 8 hours a day because I wanted to like grow the platform and the following. I wasn't really concerned about that.
Yeah.
I think I just didn't have anything else to do. So when I first started doing it, I was loving it. Like, I would just get on. I was doing Dark Souls, and I would just get on and play Dark Souls for like 8 hours and just hang out, and everyone was like giving me tips on how to play and stuff.
Fun.
And then I would play Celeste, and it was just really satisfying to beat a really hard level that you did for a while and have all these people be like,
right,
oh my god, you finally did it, like I was here. So that was all really fun. But just generally, yeah, like I just realized I can't play video games for 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Just personally.
Anything
me
that
anymore.
Yeah.
I found a good jam of just like sticking the camera behind me and not talking for the whole stream. And then like, taking a 20-minute break and just like I figured out how to get my phone camera to show as like a small preview. And so I just go upstairs and like eat almonds for 20 minutes.
Right. See, that's like smart. Plus, it's good for you because what you're streaming, you're gonna do it anyways.
Right. Oh no, I wasn't even gonna do it. I don't know if that's anti or like I would have to do it, but I wouldn't.
Oh right. Yeah. But for me, it was like I would never, if I wasn't streaming, I would never ever play that much video games in a day ever.
It makes me curious. I mean, you both seem like you've done a pretty good job of avoiding what I think a lot of artists feel pressured these days. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I know a lot of artists, musicians feel like they have to be creating content all of the time. It's like, oh, I have to make sure that my Instagram is got enough reels and this and that. And should I have a TikTok? And should I be making blogs? And should I be doing all these things? Do you feel any of that pressure? Do you have thoughts about the content machine? I feel like it's kind of a monster and unfair to be asking people who could better spend their time being creative in different ways, but I don't know.
I feel it a little bit. Like I especially sometimes when I make a drum video and I post it and I see how well it does, I get messages saying like, you should do this song next, you should do this song next. So I feel, but that is like something I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I like getting footage of it, but I will go like sometimes 2 or 3 months without posting anything on Instagram if I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I went like 6 months. I find that like you can't grow your fan base on Instagram.
Yeah. By
posting on Instagram. And like the best you can do is just grow your follower count, which really doesn't translate into anything. Like you have 1 million followers because of like, you know, these little videos you're posting, and then you have to beg them to listen to your actual music. Like you see it on TikTok all the time. Like people are like, hey, like I made this sound that everyone's using 3 billion times. I also have other music. And like no one cares.
I know, it's fucking raw. And like there's this other artist, Hayes, I was talking to on the program last year, and he's had this like weird viral TikTok success with just being a silly person. And it was like not really intentional. It just kind of, his personality is crazy and he's a nut, you know? And then it's just that exact thing. It's like, now it's all like he's like torn in two, and there's like people out there who know him for his weird funny voices or whatever, and it's like, but really I'm a musician. Like I don't like, could you check that out please? And like everyone is so, you know, I don't know if it's really so, I guess people want to like go viral on TikTok, have their viral TikTok song, but like what at the end of the day, what is it good for? I don't know.
I find if we play a show like and we talk to everyone, they're like, hey man, I saw you at Shambhala, or I saw you at Electric Forest, or like I found you through Mr. Carmack's song, or like no one says like, man, I saw that funny video you posted. And then I went and checked out your music. Like I find like posting on Instagram is more just like a nice thing you can do for the people that are supporting you, to just give them something like to be excited about or like be entertained by. But the main thing is like, just having like music that's good enough that it's creating its own traffic.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, back up in the chat, Sunshine Breakfast said they've been seeing snippets of Tess learning the drum parts of the songs on Instagram, and you sound so good, all caps, so talented. How long have you been learning the songs? When did you guys pass it on over into the live sphere? And what were your impressions of Rot as you started to work your way through all of this?
Yeah, I came home from Philly for Christmas, and I started working on it like just after the new year started. And Luke had put together like really like comprehensive like live versions of how he wants every song from the album to sound live. And he like created a drum kit, and he mapped out like some drum parts. We sent the bass sheets, charts, bass charts.
I just sent like MP3s of the bass parts.
Yeah, so the bass is off to the bass player and the guitar is off to the guitar player. And yeah, for me, it just sounds like muted track in the background and then really loud drum parts. And I've just been doing it by ear, just taking it a bar at a time. And I'm working on it a lot more than I'm posting about it. Like I think I posted like 3 or 4 snippets, but I'm done. I only have I have 2 songs I would lay by, but technically I already know lay by. I'm just relearning it as a little bit of a different part. And Telescope are my only 2 songs I have left to work on.
There's also, I wrote this ridiculous, I just knew I needed like a little drum solo section for Tess.
I've been avoiding this.
But I just put in like the most random thing. It's like, and I'm avoiding it. I'm leaving it till the very last. Do not learn that drum solo.
Okay.
It's not intended to be played.
I know.
I think probably the best thing to do would just be to like work together and just create like a drum solo that you're happy with.
Yeah.
And then you can learn that if you don't want to like try and freestyle it every time and like.
There's been a few little, like I've been reworking a few things because like when Luke writes it, he does it like just on I guess on your keyboard or on the.
Yeah, I just play like finger drumming.
So some of it, when I listen to it back, I realize like this actually is impossible to play. So I've just been sort of like maneuvering around things and sort of like making it playable, because you don't want it to be. There's a few things where like it sounds really cool, but then it's really hard to play, and then you don't want to lose like the flow of the song because you're like struggling to play something.
Yeah.
Like it should be by the time I'm done, everything should be really easy to play. Like I shouldn't be making like mistakes at all.
You also shouldn't be like focusing too much. You kind of want to just like, vibe out.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of vibey songs, but I don't mind. I don't know. I kind of, maybe it's like video games.
Yeah, you like the hard.
I do really like learning things note for note. Like I find it really satisfying.
It's just, okay, this is the thing though. Like I made these little drum tracks, not little, but like I didn't work on them. I just like played in like garbage just as like a guideline, and then I also quantized everything, which like fixes the performance, but sometimes the notes go the wrong way.
So it's
even funkier.
I've been working on it for like a month, and Luke, I finally said, you should just come out and watch me play everything to make sure I'm not like doing something wrong. And I was playing notes, and Luke would be like, I didn't put that note in, like that's just quantized wrong.
You'd be like, that's a mistake. Like
I can't tell sometimes, because honestly, sometimes it just sounds cool. So I think, or like there's a really weird one in Tuesday where it's like the bass drum and the hi-hat going at the same time, both feet, and the snare drum, the little patter on the snare drum. And then at one point, just one bass drum cuts out and then it goes back in.
Yeah, that's probably a mistake. But also that song has like legacy quantize mistakes that are like part of the original song. So yeah, I left those ones in. It's like to stay true to the original. But it's also the same thing, like quantized and just never fixed.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make more drum videos. We were talking about there's a really wanna off of Rot. It has a really cool beat, and we were talking about making like a beat breakdown video, like not just me playing it, but actually showing how it's played.
Cool. Oh, that would be so fun.
A few things like that.
Yeah, peel the I don't know, curtain back on that a little bit. I now thinking about that song too, I also think about the really cool vocal harmony bit. I guess is that what it is when you're just singing the and I really wanna ba 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 and I really wanna da da da. It's fun.
Yeah, it's all gibberish. I actually put for the live version, I put the original gibberish in the backing track.
Oh really?
Just because I was trying to re-sing it. It's like pitched up an octave on the song, and there's just no way to do it. So it's going to be in the track. And then I kind of sing my, like the parts that come in later. I'll just sing on top of that.
I love that.
That's probably the best way to do it.
So I was getting the lyrics right just then when I was like,
yeah, exactly. The only lyric is probably really wanna.
Yeah. And you just kind of throw it together like it's one word, and you're just like, oh. Is that how you go about writing lyrics? Do you just kind of like scat the melody, and then you're like, what words
honestly,
fit in
you
there?
Should hear it. It's actually really impressive, the gibberish.
Really?
Yeah, like the gibberish is so good you could learn it as lyrics and sing the gibberish.
Damn, you making your own language, son.
Well, they're all the songs were finished and like mixed, but with gibberish vocal tracks. And then the last track or the last step was like replacing all those tracks. I don't know if it's convincing or something. I guess it sounds like English, but just like not enunciated very well.
What was that one song you sent to me? It was like really like Anderson .Paak kind of vibe.
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, Sam really liked that song.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was all gibberish. There was no lyrics. And he liked it so much and listened to it so much that he could sing the gibberish with the song. It was like ridiculous.
That's impressive. Gotta pull that up at karaoke one day. It's just like, just ignore the lyrics.
Hear that one unfinished Tennyson track?
Calling it out in the audience, like, we want the gibberish version of Really Wanna.
Could you like poster merch with all the gibberish?
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, going back in the chat again, Nightshade had a question. Have you guys ever experienced burnout from making music? And if so, how have you combated that?
I don't know about burnout. Burnout's like a weird, definitely like resistance to working on music, like constantly. That never goes away. I feel like burnout is just when like you have no reason to like work for any reason. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah, you just like don't even want to get out of bed, and you're like,
yeah. I mean, I've been there. I've been like, I'm not going to make music today. Like, it's just nothing that would motivate me.
Yeah. Even though sometimes you just make yourself do a weird whisper interlude, and that's what comes out of that feeling.
I find just like, it's really important to force yourself to do anything, even if it's like, making like garbage. But that feels like a muscle that you have to work out. The like just do it muscle.
The Nike. It's right here.
Yeah. I find it's kind of like self-improvement, like cringe, but like I think cold showers are a really good way to like flex that muscle of like, I don't want to do it. We're doing it. Like,
that's true. Nightshade says it makes a lot of sense. So next time you're just feeling like, jump in that cold shower, baby, get it going.
Yeah, honestly, it's helpful. Yeah, if you look up, there's actually a book called The War of Art.
Ooh.
And it's all about, that feeling of like not wanting to do the thing that's most important to you.
Wow. Fucking feels very real. I'm going to be looking that book up for sure.
It's sick. I really like it. I've read it twice.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, because I feel that feeling all the time. But at the same time, I give myself like lots of little things to do because I like doing it. And then I'm like, wait, I have too much to do. I'm tired. But I want to do this other thing.
There's like I've been doing yoga for like since August. I've been doing like pretty consistently daily yoga practice.
Hell yeah. Adrian or something else?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've done like over 100 days by now.
Wow, that's my goal. I want to get to be like you one day.
Well, they say I had this really beautiful moment where I was talking to someone at a party, and I was talking about how I've been doing yoga and how I really want to stick with it. And I said I just finished my first 30-day journey. I did it every day. And he turned to me and he said, they say it only takes 30 days to make a habit, so you're good. And it was like he said it, and it was like, that's just how it was. Like it is actually my habit now. And like, it's like my favorite part of the day, but they have a really, like I was reading about the philosophy of yoga and like the actual ideas of yoga. And there's like 4 principles to yoga. I can't remember the names of them, but basically it's like you have your duty in life, which is like the thing that you do. So for Luke, it's like writing music. For me, it would be playing the drums. Mm-hmm. But before you can achieve your duty, there are things you need baseline. For instance, like Luke needs a computer and a DAW. I need a drum kit. So you have that, and then you have duty, but then you also have pleasure. So it's like basic needs, duty, pleasure, and then there's one other. But it was refreshing to have an idea that was like, oh, like you missed yoga today, but if you did any of the other 4 things, you were technically still practicing yoga in a way because you were like working on like fulfilling your duty as like a human being like on the planet. It's like all about that kind of vibe. I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah, because I think that's another thing that gets in people's heads, right? When they want to make a change or pick something up, and they're like, they expect their life to change overnight, and then it's like you do really well, you do something for like 5 days in a row, and then you don't do it, and you're like, well, fuck me, like I just suck at this, and then you get down on yourself, and you kind of don't pick it up again for a while, and then it becomes this weird cycle. So I had a journalism professor once tell me, if you're thinking about your story, you're writing it. And I was like, bam, amazing. Love that advice.
Also really good. Like same sort of vibe.
Yeah. So I don't know if that works for you as musicians, but maybe if you're thinking you're working on it. Sure, your label is like, okay, but we'd really like to see the album.
That's funny. They're like, hey, where's the album? I'm thinking about it as we speak.
It's gonna be great. It sounds sick in my head right now. Like, wish I could show you. And they're like, yeah, we want you to. Anyway, Tess, I'd love to hear what songs you like to drum along to when you're not busy learning Tennyson songs.
Oh, okay. I went through a really big jank phase.
Jank?
Which is... Yeah, it's like a pop punk band.
Oh, okay,
that has
cool.
like since dissolved, but they have one EP that like I don't know, like nothing has really inspired me on the drums like that did. And I kind of just like couldn't help myself from like I would hop out of bed and I'd be excited to like go out and learn another song. And it was to the point where I had the whole EP learned, and I would just go out there and I would top to bottom play the entire EP every day for like an entire summer.
That's so cool.
But right now, like, there's nothing else I want to play. Like, actually, I'm really the songs are really fun.
I bet
some of
they
them
are
more
really
fun than others.
They're fun to listen to.
Yeah, I was working on Really Wanna, and there's like these parts with like these really like really like snare tom, like just cool fills, and I was practicing, and they're so fun to play. And it was like when I finally got the breakdown that I was like practicing over again, it was like, I'm not gonna leave this garage until I play it perfectly, top to bottom. And when I finally did it, I was like out there like, having so much fun. I don't know, I'm like stoked to play these songs live. They're super fun.
I really hope I get to see you guys on the tour. I'm kind of sad because I was looking at the dates, and you're coming to San Francisco, which is where I currently live, but I'm actually moving to Miami, starting the process next week, and you're not coming there currently. So that's not on you, that's on me, right? But I'm hoping I can find my way to your tour somewhere along the way, because I'm very excited. You're gonna have a bass player, and what's the fourth member? Is it guitar? It's full band. You must be excited. I mean,
and acoustic kit too, like fully acoustic.
Wow, it's gonna be so great.
It's gonna be very different.
Have you had a chance to perform or rehearse yet as a full band?
No, nothing.
We're only gonna do it for like 2 days.
My fingers.
Oh my god!
Like we're literally like everyone's learning their parts, and then we're gonna come together, and in 2 days we're gonna try and make ourselves into a unit.
We're not gonna have the best stage chemistry, I don't think.
Oh, come on, don't say it. just say that it's gonna be great, and then but it has to be. I'm sure that's interesting, right? Like you two have been playing together conceivably your whole lives, and so there must be a chemistry between you that's like, hey, yeah, like I don't know, maybe you guys speak
What's
almost
funny
without
though is
speaking.
it's like mostly show. Do you know what I mean? Because so much of the show that we were playing was like designated parts that we played the same every single night. We it's not like it was never like the type of show where you get to one part and you start to improvise and like work off each other. Like it just didn't have that. So we would kind of like play cool parts and look at each other and be like vibing, but like really we were just like, he was doing his own thing, I was doing my own thing, and we're just playing it as well as we can.
One day you'll have to do some weird improvise, some true jazz. Go back to your jazz roots.
That's like such an exciting thing about having like a live band on stage, is like you get to just like I see a lot of bands doing it, like just jamming and like learning a cover together and then saying like, let's just play this tonight just for a little bit, like in between songs, let's just play a little bit of this. And like it just fills a lot of that like dead space in shows too, to have like to be able to just like riff on your instrument for a bit, which I never used to be able to do. So I'm looking forward to like having a little more fun.
I think we should just learn a few covers, like, you know, on soundcheck.
Lots of people
do, like,
are
My Name is
doing
Jonas and stuff.
Like I've noticed. I went to a few live shows last year, and like I saw Anamanaguchi and they did a Sum 41 cover.
Hey.
I saw Slow Pulp. They did a Sum 41 cover. I saw.
Is it time for Sum 41 cover? What song by Sum 41 would you cover if you had to pick?
In 2D.
Oh, nice.
Which is the one that Slow Pulp does. I can't remember which one Anamanaguchi did, but then I saw Versace and he did Mr. Brightside. Like I don't know, everyone's doing it and it works. Like it's fun.
Yeah, we're a 4-piece, so there's like an
infinite possibility.
We could do.
Like why not? Just for fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Gucci did Hopes and Dreams. Yeah.
Cool. Luke, are you feeling some type of way about hearing your music played by a full 4-piece band? Are you like excited, nervous?
Well, right now I have like drum software and bass software, and so I have an idea of what it'll sound like. I'm a bit worried that like I'm like gaslighting myself with these expensive plugins, and like when we actually get together, it's just gonna be like
a mess.
I'm just gonna be like, oh God, what did I do? Like, we can't go out.
It's like 5 minutes before showtime. You're like, I've made a terrible mistake. No, it's gonna be great.
At least we will have a little bit of time to like play together.
And Bo is sending me like one takes of all the songs, so I just like drop them in, and I've been like, he won't have a guitar amp or guitar pedals. Everything will go into my laptop, and then I've been making like hundreds of different amp presets with like different mic positions.
Wow, cool.
So yeah, and then that's all automated while he's playing. So he's just like, maybe we'll have to get him like a piece of like cardboard or something to stomp, just for the like visual aspect.
So it looks like
yeah.
We did the last tour we did in 2019. It was like a semi-acoustic kit. So like the first half of the show was mostly electronic, and then I switched out a snare drum and all the cymbals, and I was really nervous about how it would sound, because I just hadn't been playing shows on an acoustic kit. And yeah, it was like a new experience for me. It was like, once you mic up a drum kit, it sounds so good.
Oh yeah.
Like it was kind of blowing my mind, and people would like film it and I'd watch it back and I'd be like, that sounds so good. Like I wasn't sure if it would work, but it was working a lot. I felt like
it's gonna work. It's gonna be great. I trust in it. No, I think it's gonna be great. Okay.
I think it'll sound good.
Everyone in the chat, if you have any other questions, throw them in, because we have gone super over time, which is fine by me because it's been very fun.
Fine by us too. Should we rapid fire chat questions?
Yeah, rapid fire chess questions.
That's
rapid fire chess questions. Rot Deluxe. Oh, because the vinyl's coming out. Yeah.
I have Rot 2, which is just well, we tried to do Japanese bonus tracks, but nothing really, I don't know. It's probably just like bad communication on my part. So I have two more songs that like, they just need to be released somehow.
Ooh.
So
there's a long legacy of Japanese bonus tracks and Japanese limited edition vinyl, so maybe you can still get in on that. And congrats that your vinyl are like kind of on time. That's not happening to a lot of people.
That's true. Yeah, the album was mastered last June, so yeah, it was kind of like a waiting process for a while.
Kowanashi 6661, Luke, do you produce and compose entirely in your home?
Lately, yeah. Like pre-pandemic, that would be like working in Starbucks a lot.
Making coffees for people?
Yeah. I just find like gross coffee shops like the like smaller and like dirtier the better.
Nice.
I just like to like set up anywhere there's an outlet. I'm good.
Maybe that's what made Rot a successful album, is you found the grimiest, dirtiest place to start making music. Favorite song to make? Alessio Prue wants to know. Maybe both of you. Favorite song to play on the drums, favorite song to have made.
Favorite song to make? I have to check the list.
Favorite song to play so far? Probably be Really Wanna, even though I just learned it. It's just so freaking fun. And I also really like playing Get Gone. It's super fun.
I think Really Wanna was my least favorite one to make. It was like...
You didn't really want to make it?
No. It's just like a cursed song. Like, there's like... It's the only song on the album with like 300 tracks. And... Yeah, just like working on small details still and going crazy. Probably Doors was my most favorite one to work on. I was like, I found myself like going really deep into this vibe of, well, two things. The first is demo scene, which is a movement in the 80s of like, software crackers that would form teams and then just create these like sick demonstrations of how sick their team was.
I love that.
One guy would code all the music and one would like code all the visuals. It's the coolest thing ever, called demo scene. And then it got like way out of control. Like none of them were even cracking software anymore. And they were just like competing to make the coolest demos in these. And then they would go to these things called demo parties, which is like an auditorium filled with like tower computers and like greasy dudes.
What?
Just like working for 48 hours straight and then like presenting their demo.
This sounds kind of amazing.
And it would just be like a rotating like hexahedron or whatever, and like all these kids just be like,
wow.
And then they would take breaks and have a keyboard throwing contests outside.
It's my kind of scene. That's it.
And then that, and then Weirdcore, which is like the like progression from liminal space images, and it has more like text and like more modified imagery.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that what you... I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, but is that when you'd make images out of just like the like slashes and...
No,
that's not
like
what that
ASCII
is.
art.
That's... Yes, okay. Yes.
I know. Liminal spaces are like, do you know, well, I'm sure you've seen them around. They're like photographs of like creepy places with no people in them. Like empty malls from the 90s.
Lighting.
Yes.
The famous one is the back rooms. It's like endless hallways with fluorescent lights and like yellow wallpaper.
Definitely. Okay, I gotcha.
Anyways, yeah, if you add like references to like Windows XP and like childhood and like put like red text with JPEG compression, it just creates this like weird vibe of like childhood.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that was like my inspiration for that song.
That's awesome. Okay, a couple more.
I like what are you guys listening to?
That's what I was going to ask.
I'm still listening to Vampire Weekend since
That's
like
awesome.
2019. That's like it. That's anytime I put on music, it's Vampire Weekend.
I feel that.
I have only been listening to the Tick Tick Boom soundtrack.
Wait, what is Tick Tick Boom?
It's like a Jonathan Larson musical that they just made into a movie, and they put it on Netflix.
Oh.
And it's very, very good, and I love it a lot. And I've been just like I know every lyric to every song at this point. I've listened to it so many times.
Hell yeah, something to watch. We got something to watch. We got something to read. We got some great video. What other video games would you recommend? What hard video games?
Oh my God, you guys have to be playing Lost Ark. It's free and it's really good. It's just like brand new MMO and it's popping and everyone's playing it right now. It's super fun.
I've been like not binge playing. This game called Baba Is You.
Oh, yep.
Like
I played
I'm super
Baba
into
Is
it.
You.
I thought I beat it, and then I did like, it's so weird. There's like a level selector, but you can like put Baba, which is like the character you control from the levels, in the level selector, and then you can like beat the meta game by like, and then it unlocks like a whole new set of puzzles, I'm like super into it. I just love it.
Amazing. I was enjoying Baba as you as well. And I really liked the look of that Celeste game because I really love playing old side-scroller Mario, and like I'm obsessed
Celeste
with like
is so good.
it's just all about like knowing what to hit, and like it's almost like learning a pattern, which makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, I got really like I was deep into that game. And I think like I played it for so long on stream that I started having my friends be like, "Are you ever gonna stop playing Celeste?"
Cuphead seems like way more difficult.
No.
Like when I watch you play Cuphead, there's just like 30 like, flying sprites, and your character's like.
No, it's weird. Cuphead is a bit more like you really have to be like tapped in to avoid everything. But Celeste technically has like much harder game mechanics. Like when you get to a certain point and you have to learn how to like wave dash in the game, and you have to learn how to like I don't know, base Celeste is easier than base Cuphead. That's true. But once you get to the hard levels of Celeste, yeah, you have to like I remember sitting on stream trying to figure out how to wave dash for like 30 minutes and just being like, how is anyone doing this? It's really cool. I like games that the learning curve is what? It's like mirror images.
You like world
the
goals,
learning curve is like this, and then just like big steep increase. Those are like my favorite games right now.
It's Trevjev or Trevgev, depending on your school of thought. Wanted to know if Luke has something like Tess's yoga that you do each day for similar mindful reasons.
I've been like not well with any of that stuff.
Just mindfulness in general.
Yeah. I had a pretty good running thing going.
Right.
But then everything got covered in glacier.
It's so icy.
Oh shit, yeah.
I mean, it is like lethal.
But yeah, I find like my mental health deteriorates quite quickly unless I'm running regularly.
Yeah.
So the winter is like definitely a difficult time of like.
It sucks.
I hope you guys get some warm weather soon.
I know. It warmed up for a little bit and everything started melting. It was like so happy.
Oh,
and now it's like freezing again.
I believe you're starting the tour in the Pacific Northwest, which is like, you know, hopefully will sunny up for you, unless I have that wrong.
End of March.
Yeah, it'll be, because we're doing Vancouver, that'll probably be like plus 14.
Dude, spring is going to be so lit, actually. Like, I've been playing the drums every day in our garage. And it is so cold. My hands and my feet never warm up the entire time I'm out there.
And you're banging shit around, too. You'd think you'd warm up.
Even if I'll be, like, sweating, working on a part, and I'll have to take off my hoodie, but my hands are still frozen. Oh my God,
nightmare.
I think that's, like, low iron. I think that's my problem.
Oh, yeah. I often
you just spin your arms around.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing.
Connor Musician is saying if you come to Florida, it's 80 degrees out right now.
I would literally do anything to be in an 80-degree weather place right now. Like, I would do anything.
Well, you know what? Connor Musician and I and a whole bunch of other Floridians need to tell our promoters to book Tennyson so that we can have a show with you guys.
Really, if it was up to me, I would put, like, every city in America. Like, I would just want to see everything.
Of course. Oh, someone else did ask this. I'll use this as a final question unless anything else comes up. But someone asked, have you toured to a city or a country on your travels and just absolutely fallen in love with it? And I guess been exposed to some pretty special stuff. Like, what's cool out there? I know sometimes touring, you don't get to see shit, you know? Like, you almost, like, get to have one dinner in a hotel room. But anything cool?
I like... I think Denver is pretty nice.
I like Denver.
Yeah, it kind of has like a corny, like hippie. What is that? Like, it
is a
bit
hippie.
uncomfortable, but it's kind of
laid back.
I think it's actually genuine. Like, people that are like that who don't live in Denver are like more obnoxious, but like, I think it's like the real deal in Denver. Like,
yeah,
that should be
like
their town slogan. It's the real deal here.
Real deal. I like Seoul is probably my all-time.
Oh, true. I thought we were just
favorite.
doing U.S. cities.
We've been to Seoul, I think 3 times, maybe 4 times. I think maybe 3 times. But the first time we went to Seoul, we whenever we play shows there, we always work with this promotion company called Soap. And they're like all DJs and they like own a club and like
I've been to the Soap bar or whatever in Seoul. I went there once and I went there and I saw a show. It was great.
It's just so cool, and everyone who works for them is so cool. And the first time we went there, they took us to this like restaurant, and I was 18, and I think it was like the first time I ever got drunk. Like they brought out like grapefruit soju,
there,
and the guy next to me was just pouring me soju like all night, and just eating really good Korean food. And I remember like just being like, these are the coolest people like I've ever met. Like I love it here.
I think I went for a run last time I was in Seoul.
Ooh.
It was like
the really hilly Airbnb, right? Or no?
No, I stayed with Hams.
Oh, right.
Grim Parrot on SoundCloud. He did a song with like on Secret Songs. I think probably a lot of people watching know who he is.
Soda Island guy.
But yeah, we had like a little place together. But yeah, I woke up early one day and went for a run. It's like kind of bizarre though.
It's fun to run.
I got a jump rope.
Foreign places.
Yeah, I got used to running in Japan. That's kind of probably my favorite place to run. My girlfriend lives right by the ocean, so you can run down to the ocean and like run along the water.
Awesome.
I've never been to this beautiful place yet.
Oh, you
and
gotta
also,
go.
Like, you have to run past like a college. If you run at the right time in the morning, there's just like college kids everywhere, and you just sprint as fast as you can, just like go like this, like, and it's
really play it up for
hills,
them. You're
so
like,
you can go
look,
like,
I'm doing it.
I feel like I'm going like 20 kilometers an hour, just like, and like just I must look ridiculous, and like everyone must just be like, what did I just see? That's like. Also, I bought I had to buy. Well, I needed running clothes, and I figured like, why buy like normal black running clothes when I could buy like neon green shorts and like an orange running top.
Fuck yeah.
And I like immediately regretted it because it's so embarrassing to run in public with like the dumbest stuff on.
But you're so safe. Think about how safe you are. No car is gonna miss you. Like.
Do you ever, okay, this is such a random thought, but when the last time I was in Japan, I had an experience where I was like they drive on the left side in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same with the sidewalk. Like in North America, you pass on the right.
And they're so serious about it. The stairs, the everything.
In Japan, you pass on the left. But at one point, I was walking by myself down the street towards another white person. And it was like, you could tell both of us were like, did not know which way the other person was going to go. And we had like a moment, like I remember passing him on the right. And we had a little bit of like, both of us just laughing, being like, that was so stupid.
That's cute. That's like a very romantic in the sense of like it's not love
I know
romantic,
like a
but
little bit of a romantic interaction, like a chance thing to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
Dodge Podge. I'm done speaking. I have had such a wonderful time talking to both of you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I am going to end the stream though because I've been staring at my screen as well, and I am going to put this on YouTube later, and I don't want to drive everybody crazy, but yes, this will be rewatchable and hopefully on Spotify. I'm going to try to put these conversations on Spotify in the future too. Anyway, not that is a worry to you. I will handle that on my own. But thank you so much for coming. On the way out, we are going to watch the Iron lyric video. Is there anything that you'd like to say about that song, or anything that you'd just like to say in general about life, the universe, anything, the tour, final words, thoughts, dreams, hopes, and promises?
Just super excited to go back on tour and finally see everyone and play shows again. And yeah, we're just getting really amped up. And yeah.
Me too. You're like, I'm done talking, just a little gibberish. Thank you. I'm like, where am I? I'm sorry. Thank you for participating in this with me.
Yes, thank you for having us. It's really fun.
My pleasure. I would love to have you back on the program someday, and if I get the chance, I make the time, I make the chance to come see y'all on tour, I'll definitely holler. And
yes, please do.
I want to see it. I want to see it. It sounds like such an awesome moment. And don't worry, Luke, it's going to be great. You're going to sound great. Okay. Bye, y'all.
See ya. Bye, everybody.